Hello and welcome to Devil's Advocate. As the political situation in Karnataka turns from crisis to farce, we ask, is the BJP the big loser? That's the key issue I shall explore today with the party's former president and the man they consider the architect of the BJP's alliance with the JDS, Venkaiah Naidu. Mr. Naidu, on the 27th you said there will be a transfer of power, there's no doubt about it. On the first, when asked whether Mr. Kumaraswamy will transfer power, you said reports that he won't are completely untrue. Can you accept you were wrong?
Right from the day one, when Kumaraswamy came out, had discussion with us, and he told me that he has got the non-Congress blood. He was uncomfortable with the Congress party, alliance with JDS and Congress party, and he want to have alliance with BJP, not only now, even in future also, we'll go together. We believed him.
Kumaraswamy is accusing the BJP of being communal. He says he cannot trust the peace and harmony of Karnataka in your hands. He doesn't believe that the safety of the state can be secured by the BJP. That's why he says he's not handing over power.
No, one must understand that we are ruling around 10 states. In Karnataka, 20 months, and he was the chief minister, and we were supporting him. Everything was fine. BJP was secular. He was comfortable. Law and order was completely comfortable. Now he gets doubts. I can't help him.
In fact, not only has he got doubts, the Hindu says that he's going to call a special session of the Assembly on the 18th, and he's confident that even without the BJP, he can secure a vote to keep in power.
I don't think so. First, let us understand the 2004 mandate was anti-Congress. BJP got 80, Congress got 64, and JDS at that time got 58. Later, 10 people left under the leadership of Siddaramaiah. So the mandate was very clear, but for their own reasons, JDS and Congress have joined together, ruled the state for 20 months. Subsequently, JDS has realized the Congress has betrayed them. They fell apart, came to us and said we'll have a long-term relationship.
And now, are you suspicious? Are you worried that maybe he has an assurance from Congress that they will support him, that Congress will keep him in power, and he can then, forgive my language, kick the BJP in the teeth?
I can't say anything about Congress. Congress may do anything, everything, to keep the BJP away from power. But I must tell you, understand the mood of the people of Karnataka. Anybody does this, they'll be in for a big, shock from the people. I'm sure the mood is in favor of the BJP.
Let's in fact talk about the BJP. Let's look at the central question, who's the biggest loser? I put it to you, the answer is the BJP. You had a clear understanding that power would be transferred on the 3rd. When it didn't happen, why didn't you go to the governor and withdraw support? What you did was to present a meaningless resignation of 17 or 18 ministers. You know it hasn't worked.
Why second our ministers resigned was, there was a statement made by my deputy chief minister on the floor of the house. Second is the date which was agreed upon by both. That day we will give our resignation to the chief minister to facilitate him to resign.
But it hasn't. It hasn't facilitated him. He's laughing at the resignations.
Heavens are not going to fall in another 2 days. He'll be further exposed anybody.
Heavens may not fall, but the impression you're giving the country is that you're hoping against hope. You're hoping against reality that a miracle will make YEDIYURAPPA chief minister.
There is
Do
no
you really believe that will happen?
Currently, let me tell you, tomorrow, the day after, or in the near future, it will be YEDIYURAPPA who will be the chief minister of Karnataka. You take it from me. You take it from me. Future chief minister of Karnataka will be B.S. YEDIYURAPPA.
You're desperate to make YEDIYURAPPA chief minister, and in the process, you're humiliating the party. That's the problem.
No humiliation at all. After all, it was a solemn assurance to the people given by both the parties. We want them to honor it. With dignity, with decorum and with decency, we are functioning. The entire state and the country is watching, and we are not abusing or we are not misusing. We have performed our responsibility. We are not asking any favor.
You're not abusing, you're not misusing. The problem is you are being abused, you are being misused. Let me put it like this. There's no doubt that the chief ministership of Karnataka was an important goal for the BJP to achieve. But should you not have gone about it differently? Rather than ally with the unreliable and tricky JDS, you should have waited for the next elections. You could have got a majority on your own.
You are right. At that time, this was the issue that was there in our mind. But when we discussed with our legislators, they said, sir, immediately after the assembly elections, people do not like one more election. And people want development to go on. So we joined together.
Now with hindsight, can you accept you've made a mistake?
No, not at all. It is an experiment. Today, BJP has become more popular.
It's an experiment that's gone against you.
See, the experiment that has gone against the people there. not against me. I am 80 MLAs.
Let
I
me
have
put
80
it like
MLAs.
this. Let me put it like this. When Kumaraswamy came knocking on your doors in January 2006, everyone knew he was an opportunist. Everyone knew that he was desperate to come to power any way he could. Why did a party that's so proud of its moral content allow itself to become the handmaiden of Kumaraswamy's naked ambition?
Many people like you, many well-wishers, even the media at that time cautioned us that you cannot rely upon this party.
Shouldn't you have listened to them?
No. We thought he's an youngster and he spoke that he has got the non-Congress blood in him and he want to work together. We thought we must give a try to this.
But look at fact what's happened to your electoral prospects in Karnataka. You came third in the urban local body elections where you should have been first. And now you're in
another
great...
wrong notion in Delhi, unfortunately. Last time BJP had 482 local wards. And in this election, I get 1,180.
And
out of
JDS
7
got more than you.
Please try to understand. 7 municipal corporations, 4 are now controlled by the BJP, and Bangalore is yet to be held, and 2 more, Mysore and Gulbarga. Without me, no corporation can be formed.
You would have come first if you had not made this wretched alliance with JDS. You would have come first if you had secured your interest as a party before the desire to grab the chief ministership.
Try to understand the Congress and the JDS alliance at that time in that shape would have further ruined the state. That was the...
You know what the outcome now will be?
Let there be election. I can tell you the BJP will become victorious and right Royal
That's
will
the
become chief
second
minister.
danger. Whenever the national elections are held and they're expected to be in the first half of 208, you're in serious danger now as a result of your alliance with Kumaraswamy of losing many of the 18 Lok Sabha seats you have. Instead of clinching and clinging to power and growing stronger in Karnataka, you've weakened yourself because of greed and desperation.
Not at all. It's a wrong notion. The BJP will sweep the polls, both Lok Sabha and Assembly. As far as Karnataka is concerned, the mood is upbeat. Morale of my MLAs and my cadre also is upbeat. We went to Bangalore, myself and S1 Sinaji. We had a detailed discussion. We have also understood the mood of the people also. It is the BJP which is the choice of the people of Karnataka.
Let me end this part with one simple question. Will you accept that the alliance was a mistake?
There is no question of... We don't consider it as a mistake.
You'll never accept you made a mistake?
No, try to understand. We have made a wrong assessment. That can be a correct
That's a mistake.
That can be correct description. If somebody betrays
a
you,
wrong
you give a word.
assessment is a mistake.
You give an assurance.
A wrong assessment is a mistake.
Please try to understand. You come before the people, lakhs of people, and make a solemn assurance to the people that you will abide by what you are saying.
So you were gullible and you got
everybody.
taken in. A party lied to you and you didn't have the capacity to know that they were lying. You got taken in.
See, I am not an astrologer. I don't have a horoscope.
What about judgment and wisdom?
Yeah, well, judgment and wisdom is the son said, I have nothing to do with my father. I'm coming out. There is a non-Congress blood in me.
So you got trapped. You got trapped.
There's no question of trapping. After all, it's all experiment.
He got the better of you.
Huh?
He got the better of you.
Definitely, he enjoyed it. Then he will see what is going to happen in future, for his future also.
Let's take a break at that point. I want to come back and talk about the BJP's other problems. Unfortunately, not only are there a lot of them, but they may well be a lot worse as well. That's in a moment's time. See you after the break. Welcome back to Devil's Advocate and an interview with the former president of the BJP, Venkaiah Naidu. Mr. Naidu, let's broaden the canvas and let's start with the centre. The recent national executive held in Bhopal was supposed to position the party for the forthcoming elections. Yet a mysterious letter from Atal Bihari Vajpayee, which he didn't sign and maybe he didn't even write at all, has divided the party over the leadership issue. It's a setback just when you didn't need it.
Not at all. There was no discussion about the letter. There was no discussion about the leadership.
Not at the convention, but outside in the press, through the press and within the party, the discussion has gone on. In fact, there's a division.
It was in the media. There was no division in the party, in the executive. The discussions went on about preparations for the coming round of elections. We have talked about a future program also. The party is very clear about the future.
I'm afraid when you say it's in the media, not only are you correct, you're more right than you actually realize, because all your party colleagues exposed their differences to the media. You and Jaswant Singh endorsed Advani's claim to leadership. Yashwant Sinha, Murli Manohar Joshi and Rajnath Singh made it absolutely clear they don't. As a result, the five of you have given the impression the party is tearing itself apart.
No, it's a totally wrong reading. When you ask question and you interpret that reply, it is your way of doing things. As well, we are clear in the executive, outside, the entire party. There is total unity and there is total clarity.
Okay, if you say there's unity and that the press is making a mistake, then let me ask you a simple, blunt question. If elections are held in the first half of 2008, will LK Advani be the BJP's prime ministerial candidate?
Let the elections be announced. We'll come out with the name of the leader. You ask Congress party, who is the leader, Manmohan Singh, Sonia Gandhi, or Rahul Gandhi? You leave the ruling party and you're putting the question to me?
Absolutely.
We are very
because
clear.
there is a serious question mark about the leadership of the
There is no
BJP.
question
and your
mark.
refusal to
So that
answer
means
makes
you are-
it clear
you are-
that the party is divided on the issue.
There is no division at all. Let me clarify it.
Then
with
answer
regard
my
to-
question.
you
Will LK
understand,
Advani be the prime ministerial
You want
candidate?
to have your question. I want to have my answer. I want to put it in my perspective. The Congress party, which is ruling the country, who is going to be the leader? Sonia Gandhi, Manmohan Singh, or Rahul? Let them clarify it. And
I
then
thought
secondly,
the BJP
and BJP is
believes
very
it could
clear.
form a government if you are a credible contender for power. Why can't you name the prime minister who will rule the country if you win?
Still the government is continuing. We are preparing ourselves. The moment elections are announced, we'll come out
do you know
with
what
the
you're
name.
doing?
There is no difference of opinion at all.
Do you know
And
what
the
you're
president,
doing? You're revealing to the country that there's confusion and dissension.
There is no confusion. Only
Otherwise, name Advani and stand by the name.
That it is your suggestion. I am happy about your suggestion, but the question is, every political party has got its own system of way of doing things. My party president has already given an indication.
You're hiding
clearly,
behind excuses.
He has given a clear indication, you know, that in our party, Atal is the tallest leader. After Atal, it is Advani ji. What is the doubt in anybody's
In fact,
mind?
everyone in the party believes that if the letter from Atal Bihari Vajpayee was genuine, it was designed as an attempt to thwart Advani. Another proof that even between Advani and Vajpayee over Advani's ambition, there is division, there is difference.
No, not at all.
Many people believe that, in fact, the letter was fraudulent.
It was totally wrong. My president told the executive that this letter was given to him by Atal Bihari Vajpayee ji, and there is nothing wrong in that letter. He has expressed a desire
and Advani
to come
ji
back,
in his speech
become
gave the
normal
clear
and-
impression that when he'd met Vajpayee, after the alleged letter had been given to Rajnath Singh, Vajpayee had not indicated anything of the sort. So once again, differences have emerged.
There is no differences. You are all trying to read something which is not there in the letter or in the country.
You're trying to hide something which is there.
Nothing, I must tell you, nothing. We believe the party president. Advani ji also said that Atalji should become better soon and then come and then guide us.
All right.
What is the difference? I am not able to understand. We have clarity, we have unity, and you people are trying to say that there is confusion.
You are
Where is the
able
confusion?
to understand. You don't want to understand because understanding will expose the difference.
Whatever. There is no difference at all.
All right. Let's accept.
After Atalji, it is Advani ji. Where is doubt? You ask anybody. There is no doubt in anybody's mind.
Let me, for the sake of the fact that you're sitting in front of me, accept your argument. Let me say, the press says there's confusion in Delhi. The problem is, in Gujarat, you actually have a crisis on your hands. Keshubhai Patel, Suresh Mehta, Kanshi Ram Rana, Vallabh Kataria, A.K. Patel, and 10 MLAs have publicly stood up and opposed Narendra Modi as Chief Minister, and they have promised not to campaign for your party in the forthcoming elections. 10 weeks before the elections, is the BJP in Gujarat in danger of breaking up?
Not at all. There is a problem in Gujarat. I do admit. Keshubhai is a respected leader. But at the same time, you must understand, Sri Narendra Bhai Modi has given a good administration to the state. Everybody in Gujarat is very happy, and the BJP under the leadership of Narendra Modi is going to sweep the election irrespective of whatever happens in between.
It's not just a problem as you so delicately describe it. Suresh Mehta has gone on record to say that within a couple of weeks he will be breaking and leaving the BJP. Keshubhai Patel has said that he will be conducting 70 public meetings right across the length and breadth of the state in the next 10 weeks. The problem is growing. It's growing to the point of a division and a divide in the party.
The popularity of Narendra Bhai also is growing day by day.
Is it?
Yes.
Then why are the Kohlis and the Patels refusing to vote for you?
Who said Patels?
They said so.
Majority of the Patels, I have a survey with me which shows that 80% of the Patel community also is supporting BJP and they are supporting Narendra Bhai.
If you are
don't bring caste divisions among the people.
I'm not bringing them. The people themselves are doing it.
No, some people are taking the name of the caste so as to promote their own cause.
If you're so confident that the people of Gujarat are behind you, then how come you broke with tradition and didn't hold the national executive in Gujarat? It is a tradition in the BJP to hold the national executive wherever the state elections are happening. Instead, you retreated to Bhopal.
Is it a big issue?
Yes.
We are preparing ourselves. After the choice is ours. Wherever we want, we hold the national executive.
Of course the choice is yours, but you didn't have the guts to test your strength in Gujarat.
I will tell you the reason. We always hold the national executive before elections in a particular state so as to improve the position there. Here the position is very clear. We are winning hands down Gujarat. Hands down.
Well, that's what you say.
The Congress is in a bad shape. They are searching for some leaders. They are trying to poach here and there.
You could be in for a terrible surprise. Let me put it like this. Which is more important to the BJP? To present a united front to the people of Gujarat or to promote Narendra Modi as the next Chief Minister of the state?
It is important for the BJP to get back Gujarat state. and also under the leadership of Narendra Bhai
Will
Modi.
a united party do it, or with Narendra Modi at the head of a
Yes, if
divided
some people
party?
do not follow the majority, what can you do? I only wish that better sense prevails upon everybody and they will all work together for the party. If somebody wants to break and go out, I can't help it.
It's not just somebody within the party who wants to break and go out. Even at this moment when national elections are looming, your own allies are losing faith in you. Mamata Banerjee is distancing herself from the NDA. Jayalalitha says this is not the right time for an alliance with the BJP. The TDP has repudiated you altogether. Once again, you're losing allies.
See, first of all, alliances are only for election.
But this is an election coming up perhaps in 6 months.
Election is not yet been confirmed.
You know it's likely in 6 months' time. ADVANI has gone on record to say it will be happening in 6 months' time.
You
Suddenly
can't believe the communist parties. They'll say something
quoting
in
LK
public.
ADVANI.
Yeah, we are preparing ourselves. We are preparing ourselves.
By losing allies.
By the time the elections come nearer, NDA is for governance. By the time elections come nearer, you will see that there is a polarization of BJP on one side, Congress on the other side.
My last question. Do you know what the polls are saying? Although the UPA is in crisis, you're not climbing the polls. The most recent poll says you'll end up with less than 100 seats, probably half the Congress tally. You look less than credible. You look like a loser.
Let us see what is going to happen. The same pollster said that India is going to win. The same pollster said that the UP is going to be a hung assembly. BJP is 100 press and Samajwadi 100 press. What has happened in UP?
I put it to you. You don't just have a problem in Karnataka. You have a problem nationwide. The BJP
There is no nationwide problem. There are problems in every political party. There are some problems in our party also. We are capable of resolving them. And you will see the people are totally tired, disgusted with this UPA. They want India to come back and BJP to lead it.
I hope for your sake those aren't famous last words. Mr. Naidu, a pleasure talking to you on Devil's Advocate.